Ciao Internet Accent here, and I'm back again talking about video games. And I know, I'm late on the train about Starfield. There has been like the Starfield Direct. It's been a little while since it aired, but nevertheless, it's an interesting game to talk about, and I want to give you my 2 cents about what I've seen in the Starfield Direct, which is the show that you're looking at on screen right now. It's a show where like it's 40 some minutes in which the team at Bethesda Game Works has basically described all the game mechanics that will be present in the game and all the features and stuff. They gave us quite a big look at it, and there's even more that they didn't tell us about, which is interesting. I want to talk about the game from two sides, like what I'm looking forward to, what excites me about the game, and also what worries me about the game, which is how I usually do stuff. Let's start. I don't know. Let's start with what worries me, so that we can end on a high note, right? Which is more fun usually. Anyhow, if you like my content, please like, share, and subscribe. Every little bit of help is very appreciated. So let's get into the video. Starfield. Starfield, it's my kind of game, in principle. I really like space sims, even though this is not quite a simulation. But I like some. I don't like very hardcore space sims, but like cool space sims, okay? And I am a backer for Star Citizen, which is sounds like, and when it works, like feels like the best game ever made, ever conceived, because it has all the things that I want from a space sim, and even some more things that are more like RPG like that I really like in general in gaming, right? And it sells the fantasy of being a space commander very well when it works. When it works, it's still vaporware, of course. It's an alpha game, and we've been in alpha for decades probably. So let's not talk about that. Starfield promises to do almost everything that Star Citizen does, but it is actually a real game that we will be able to play in a couple of months. So that much is exciting. But let's start with some of my worries. Part of the fantasy that I love about space sims or space games, whatever you want to call it, it's the ability to really freely go around with your spaceship. All right. So there is flight in this game, but I wonder how contained it will be. Because the nice thing about Star Citizens is that you can actually fly everywhere, and the distance between like planets and stars and stuff like that is actually kind of realistic. So of course you use like I don't remember what it's called in Star Citizen, but like hyper light, kind of faster than light travel to get in reasonable timing from one planet to the other. But it's actually pretty realistic, I would say. And you can move between planets, and you can land on planets like seamlessly from space. You can land wherever you want on a planet, and then you can fly in an atmosphere, and the atmosphere flight is very different than space flight because there's an atmosphere involved, physics, stuff like that. And I think that's really cool, and I think that what I've seen about like the flight system in this game looks good, but I think it's gonna be kind of limited compared to Star Citizen or even like Elite Dangerous, even though Elite Dangerous is mostly about just flying around, right? There is like the first-person shooter module right now, but it's not that great. The good part about Elite Dangerous is just being the ship and flight. And yeah, you're looking at it. looks good. There are also, many familiar things. Some of the things probably are inspired by Elite Dangerous, like the system distribution and stuff like that. The system energy distribution and stuff like that. Looks very, very similar to Elite Dangerous. But the fact that I cannot land my fucking ship, it's such a bummer to me. Because landing the ship is that stupid thing that is actually kind of hard to do without like doing a mess and like destroying cities. Because you know these freaking spaceships are huge. They're not like cars. They're very, very, very much like moving houses and stuff like that. They're the big fucking moving things. So it's glorious when you can see a planet, get into the atmosphere, and even feeling the danger of messing something up and exploding. It's something I really enjoy in these kind of games. And I don't think you can do that in this game. I think you can just select the spot where you want to land, and then will be some sort of animation, like can animation, and you will see your ship land, and there you go. Now this is my first concern about the game, the thing that I won't be able to be as free as I want to with my spaceship flight, which is a bummer. But you know, we had concern number one. Concern number two, Jesus Christ, it's the usual concern about basically every AAA game, and even not only AAA game at the moment, and it's performance. Damn performance. So they said that on console it's gonna be locked at 30. I don't really care about console, but you know, the thing is that it is locked at 30. It means that if you have Zen 2, I think, or 3, I don't remember, then maybe Zen 2 CPU, if you have like kinda 2070, 2080 graphics card, you're gonna have trouble to get 60 frames per second in this game. Which is a bummer, because I have a less powerful PC than that. My PC is old; it's actually less power than new consoles. That said, and the current market, like PC hardware market, is so screwed up that it's very difficult to make an upgrade if you don't have like just money to waste and throw around as you wish. I'm gonna get an upgrade this year, so I'm less concerned about it, but you know, still a concern, because if you need to be making a lot of compromises to make this game run at an acceptable frame rate, and if you know me, if you like watched any of my past video, you know that I consider the bare minimum acceptable frame rate to be 60. Very, very bare minimum performance target for me, for my taste. And it's gonna be a rough ride if this game like requires a lot of hardware power and fiddling inside the menus to get that. And it's not just that it looks so good that you need like new hardware to make it run great. It's the usual concern about optimization, right? That's we know that like lately games, especially AAA big games, do not ship very well optimized for PC. So this is, I hope I'm wrong. They announced that AMD is official partner for this game, so I have an AMD system, so I should be able to benefit from it. The game is gonna support FSR, I think 2.0. Yes, because 3.0 is not even out yet. But if it does support FSR 2.0, there's gonna be some things that I could do to make it run better, at least even like sacrificing a little bit of visual fidelity. But I don't know. Hopefully this comes to fruition as something that is useful for the end user and not just for marketing sake, because usually these kind of deals are just marketing deals. AMD can say that Starfield is an AMD sponsored game or something like that. They said that developers are actually helping out Bethesda to make it run better on AMD hardware. Let's hope so. let's see, our concerns. Okay, the other main concern is something that really comes from experience with Bethesda games. So I played like Skyrim's of the world, the Oblivions of the world, and even tried a little bit of the Fallouts. Still, I don't really like Fallout because it's part of this topic right here. I don't really like the combat in Bethesda games. It's imprecise, it's unresponsive, looks bad, animation looks bad. You can judge the distance very well. It's not snappy enough. It's kind of a chore actually. The exploration is what is good in Bethesda games, and combat is usually just a chore that you have to do. That being said, the shooting looks better, especially in this last showing, and they said that id Software, the software house that makes Doom games, which are really snappy and they feel amazing, helped out the Bethesda team to like hone in their shooting mechanics, and I think it shows a little bit. Judge it by the footage that they've shown so far, even though it runs at 30. Anyhow, and so it's somewhat a little bit of a lesser concern, just because they've been helped by a great studio. But the other part of it is that usually I don't get interested in the main stories of these games. I mean specifically not like role-playing games and stuff like that. Specifically Bethesda games. So I never finished the main storyline of an Elder Scroll game or a Fallout game, because I think usually characters and storylines are fucking boring, extremely boring. I don't find interest in them. Main quests are like usually are very stupid, and they don't mean much to me. In Skyrim and other Elder Scrolls game, ended up just like wandering around and maybe completing some like side quest line, which I thought they were more interesting than the main one. For God's sakes, I don't know why they do it like that, but sometimes that's how it is with Bethesda. Yeah, there's also that, the Bethesda like dead stare of characters, which is kind of like creepy looking. That's something that usually like it's a barrier. Also this character, right? You can see that like the way they look at you, it's really creepy and unrealistic, and it kind of like takes me out of the game when I need to speak with an NPC. So it's difficult for me to get invested in Bethesda's NPCs usually, and also in the stories. So this is my big concern. I hope the game is fun enough that I can just do whatever and not even care about the main story and have my share of fun, regardless of the quality of the writing and stuff like that. So those are my concerns, and I hope that they will be dispelled once the game is out. Let's talk about like the nice things about it. What excites me actually. So what does excite me is the exploration, first and foremost. I really love the explorations. The exploration that they've shown so far, even though the planets that 1,000 more planets that they built, most of them are like procedurally generated. I think they look good enough and diverse enough that it's gonna be fun to go around and explore planets and stuff like that. Also the like the environments that they actually crafted by hand look very good. Exploration kind of looks good. There's like a little bit of No Man's Sky in there. You can go around and like gather resources to do stuff. Cool. Hopefully you can find something interesting from time to time when you go about like exploring planets. And combat, I won't say it excites me, but the fact that it doesn't look bad it's something that I can like go behind. Some of the things that they showed about the combat I really like actually. The fact that it's when you the gravity when you are in zero gravity inside a spaceship and you fire off a gun, like the recoil of the gun pushes you back, which has really cool interaction with physics. You can use the jetpacks to go around and shoot people from above, which looks very fun. I don't like how the melee combat looks, but this is like something that has never been good in Bethesda games. So this kind of stuff, like is flying around, shooting at guys, looks kind of good. I hope that enemies have a decent enough AI, so that you don't like just shoot at that things at walk. So that's something about the combat system that I could enjoy, especially like the interaction with physics. Looks kind of fun. Hopefully, like they said that there's a lot of variety with weapons and like gadgets and stuff like that. So that could be really really fun. The other things that excite me a lot, it's the shipbuilding thing, which is freaking cool, man. So it's a simplified shipbuilding system, but it's even though it's simplified, it's very free. You can build like very weird looking ships, and the fact that the module that you attach to each other change the inside structure of the ship and how many people you can get inside the ship, and because you have also to like get people to run the ship for you, which is nice, which is cool. And yeah, and I hope that like the way you arrange all the modules to make your ship influence in some way also how the ship is, how the ship feeling is when you ride it, right, when you pilot it. I hope that it changes the feeling of the ship when you go out and fly around. But it looks very interesting and cool, and something that I would spend time on and have fun, like building weird looking ships, which is always something that I like. I've liked to do in games. I even like to do it in Kingdom Hearts with the gummy ships. Imagine what I can do with this system. Very very nice. And the base building stuff, I don't think I'm gonna get into it that much. I usually don't like that kind of stuff, but it could be useful in the game to make like a resource gathering more efficient and stuff like that. So I think that could be something that I will do a little bit of, but I'm not gonna be focusing on it a whole lot. But it looks decent enough that I could dabble in it. And the customization aspect of the game looks really good to me. All the armors and suits and weapons and gadgets and trinkets and whatever, and items that you can get inside your ship and like get there we go. These are all the different ships that you can make. You see that right now. Very cool. So customization in general looks very solid. It looks very very solid in this game, and I hope that it's not only like fast and like has a lot of options, but also that all the options have meaning. Like you can tangibly feel when you play the game. Everything should have a lot of meaning to it. If that's the case, I think I'm gonna have fun like with messing with all the customization option in the game. That's for sure. And yeah, I think that's it. And the dogfighting, yes, I also like I like me some dogfighting. It seems some like gameplay action for dogfighting. It looks kind of cool. Looks promising. That thing will live or die by the feeling of it, right? If the dogfighting feels good, if piloting feels good, if the movement of the ships, the ship is not like cumbersome and it's right, I think dogfighting will be a nice activity to do, in between missions and stuff like that. So yeah, that's also something that gets me pumped when I watch it. And This thing, man. Customization of the ship, man. I'm gonna lose so much time on it. Yeah, that's great. That's great. So, all in all, I think I'm positive about the game. I think this is the game that X was needed to get a little bit of clout back. Hopefully, it doesn't ship as a buggy mess as usual Bethesda game do. Hopefully, the time that Microsoft gave them is enough that the game will ship in a much better state than usual. And let's hope that this time around, like actually completing the game and following the story, it's interesting enough that I will do it. Because what this game can do to me is like close the gap that another great space RPG has left behind, which is Mass Effect. So I really disliked Mass Effect 4. I love the trilogy, and I miss that kind of game. So this could be that and more, but I hope that specific feeling of Mass Effect, like the grandeur of the story, and like the feeling of vastness of the universe, and the big impact of your action on that universe. I hope that they can get that feeling right. If they do, this is gonna be a banger of a game. Yeah, I hope so. So thank you very much for listening to me, guys. Please leave a like, share, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about the game. If you're excited, if you want to try it out, let me know in the comments. And see you in the next one. Ciao, 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 ciao.